me being Ziddi, I would say.
Okay. Young, dumb, and bold, I would say.
Less respect to design
Okay.
in India.
All right.
People feel you can, take thoughts without money and move on. Don't pay the architect. It does not have a, soul to it.
Yeah.
The body is there, but there is no soul. So now what we do is, over a period of time, what we realize that what I did by, refusing about 35 residential projects.
Okay.
I decided not to do residential projects, and I had a lot of time to come up with a coffee table book, and that's what I've done.
Wow.
I have a coffee table book for my works.
So you said that obviously there are a lot of spaces that are available, but they're not being filled. Is there a demand-supply issue, excessive of supply in terms of commercial spaces, but not enough people to rent it out?
So the building has to be designed in such a way that there are quiet zones and then there are busy zones. So the n number of people who believe that I invest in the property today, even if I don't rent it out, that's fine. I will sell it after 5 years. कुछ ना कुछ तो देके जाएगी.
Yeah.
So if you have that power to hold on to an investment, it pays.
Yeah. Okay. Welcome to Designer Dialogues, everyone. Today we're joined by a very versatile architect Vipul Singh, who's been in the industry for about 24 years. He's done a lot of projects in the commercial space, especially in hospitals, clubs, resorts, and hotels. We get to learn a lot from him today. Let's dive into this chat, one dialogue at a time. Architect Vipul Singh, welcome to the show.
Thanks a lot, Atha, for inviting me here.
So you started your journey about 24 years ago.
Yes.
With Design Accord.
Yep.
How did it come about? What was the journey like?
Well, it was all about me being Ziddi, I would say.
Okay.
Because 24 years ago, when I passed out and completed my masters, rather 26 and a half years ago, I completed my masters.
Okay.
So I had always dreamt of having my own practice.
Right.
And but I belong to Lucknow, and I had come to Delhi, and so I was not aware of a lot of things. So I started working for a very good product designer, because I have done my masters in product design.
Okay.
So I worked with him for 2.5 years, and then after gaining some confidence, I would say, I started to have my own practice. And it was simply, again, as I would say, it is simply a zid that I am going to have my own practice, and that is it. And luckily, as I would say, my friend, who is my present partner also, Madhup Majumdar, he joined me also.
Okay.
So it was like we were friends in college, and then we started this journey together, and we are still together.
Okay.
So that's how it all started. It was like, we never thought we will make it so big. It's like entering into fresh water.
Yeah.
It's like you learn to swim a bit, and then you start swimming, and let's see what happens.
Yeah. So was it hard back in the day to start your own practice, especially at a young age as well?
Well, the best part was that we were never afraid.
Okay.
And we knew that this is our bread and butter, so why have double thoughts?
Yeah.
When you are diving into something, you should dive full-heartedly, not looking back, not having double thoughts. So yeah, we never thought about anything else. And God willing, yes, we were exposed to good clients.
Yeah.
In the beginning itself, and because I being a product designer and he being a landscape architect, this combination was rarely available in India. So this combination clicked, and we happened to be hitting at the top.
Yeah.
And we started with clubs and malls, and rather than an architect would start with a residence, or a small office, but somehow it was, I think, godsend. We started with the first mall, which is there in Kolkata, Forum.
Fantastic.
So we were part of that design team. The entire mall is not designed by us. It was designed by Mr. J.P. Agarwal. But yes, we were part of the design team where we happened to design a lot of elements for that mall. Okay. So that's how our journey started.
Yeah.
And then there's no looking back. And because we started from the top, we entered at that level, and we till now are in the same level, I would say, or even a bit notch higher.
That's good.
And yeah, it's all godsend. But yes, why we have to keep on working, and
Yeah.
it's not easy, I would say.
So it's from experience, what I can tell is, young, dumb, and bold, I would say, that you guys took the chance of going straight for the commercial
Yeah.
projects. So did your meaning of design also change from what it was to now?
Well, yes, we while we were freshers from SPA,
Yeah.
masters from SPA, for us we were more inclined to get good salaries. For us, design was like okay, we have graduated, so now let's get into the job, let's get good salaries, and that's it. Design is something which I would say, while working with Mr. Kedar Joshi, who was a brilliant product designer from NID. I would say he, taught me a holistic approach to design.
Okay.
While you study in an institute, they teach about design, they teach about principles of design, but practicality is something which misses in the institutes. So while you are working with somebody who's as well versed with the world,
Yeah.
you look up to him, and that person guides you. So he guided me well, and yes, he guided me so much so that I could handle individual projects on my own.
That's good.
And then I realized that yes, now I am capable enough to handle the world, and
Yeah.
I can move ahead. So my first, I would say, the best project which I did with Mr. Kedar Joshi was Wenger's,
Okay.
the Connaught Place Bakery,
Okay.
which is still
Oh.
there, and it was only designed once, and I am very proud to say that I have been a part of that, and all the drawings, all the designs were prepared by me.
Okay.
And till date, it is very close to my heart.
And it's one of the flagship places as well in
Yes,
Connaught Place.
yes.
Yeah.
So I don't miss going to Wenger's. Whenever I'm in CP, I
Yeah.
have to have
Yeah.
something from Wenger's.
Fantastic. Me too, I would say.
Yeah.
So, can you tell me, when you were young, what was one project that you said to yourself, okay, if I've cracked this, I can do anything else?
Well, there was another project which was an ad agency.
Okay.
It was an interior design of an ad agency wherein uh, again it was with Kedar Joshi, I would say. I was very new to the industry, so I did not know how to deal with the clients.
Yeah.
And obviously the clients were highly praised, high nosed.
Yeah.
So, and I, being a very docile person, I did not know how to face them.
Okay.
So and there was a situation where Mr. Joshi had to go to Goa for his personal work, and he had to be stationed there for 3 months, and I had to handle the project and deliver it to the client. So that exercise actually, made me quite versatile, I would say, because I had to face all the brunt and I had to be on the front line of the battle. So then I realized that yes, I can, now if I can do this, and I can, go ahead with my own work. Big projects, or a very prominent project which I would want to mention in this interview, is the work with Ratan Tata.
Okay.
I worked for him because he wanted to design a store with everything in metal. He wanted to show metal as part of everyday life.
Okay.
So this was done in Calcutta about 15-16 years back.
Right.
And or maybe 18 years back. I designed everything in metal, and the entire store, which was about 25,000 square feet, it was designed everything in metal, and even all the displays, all the products by Tata Steel and other ancillary units were displayed. And I had the pleasure of meeting him, and he had come to he had come for the inauguration, so I could meet him in person.
Yeah.
And I think, what can I ask for more? I met him at the start of my career.
Yeah.
So
Fantastic.
this is something which gives me a lot of energy to keep on going.
Yeah. So when a new project lands on your desk, what do you look at first? Do you look at concept? Do you look at design? Do you look at, the feedback that the client gives you?
Well, whenever there is a new project which is there on my table, the first thing is to visit the site. And if it is a hotel or it is a resort or whatever, if it's a mall, that site gives me some message. I would say, and without being very philosophical or conceptual. I would say you study the site and then you come up with the first thought which clicks. I think majorly is the right solution for your design. So then you bring that thought to the table and then you start the concept around that thought. It could be a very vague thought, but then that gives you a sort of a leeway into as to how you move ahead. And then slowly you develop that concept, and then the concept is aided with what sort of imagery you are carrying, what sort of style you want to have for that project, and also keeping in mind the brief the client has given you. And then you weave a story and present it to the client.
Nice.
So at times that story adds a lot to the brief, and that becomes a dream project for the client. Because we also want to, earlier we used to only stick to what client has given me on a piece of paper, and all right, this is done, these are spaces which I have designed or I have allocated, but then it does not have a soul to it. The body is there, but there is no soul. So now what we do is, over a period of time, what we realize that soul is more important than the body. So we weave around the soul, and then any which way the body has to be there.
Fantastic.
So we are more concerned about soul. The body and soul come up with a grand concept.
So speaking of soul, the way that you look at things perhaps can be very different to what the client perhaps is looking at.
Definitely.
Has there been an instance where you had to say no to a client because it wasn't matching with the idea that you had in mind versus what the client was looking at?
Yes, it was very earlier we would never say no to any client.
Okay.
But now with so much of experience, we realize that rather getting into a project which you feel that you can't do, it is better to say no. Because you will be able to save a lot of energy, lot of time, and you will be able to avoid a lot of negativity. And you might invest it into thinking what next to do. Maybe you can have a coffee book of your own of your works. That would what I did by refusing about 35 residential projects.
Okay.
I decided not to do residential projects, and I had a lot of time to come up with a coffee table book, and that's what I've done.
Wow.
I have a coffee table book for my works. So yeah, that gives me a very positive energy, rather getting into residential segment where I don't want anybody to keep on revising my designs.
So since you do commercial projects predominantly, can you also tell me, so we had Mr. Sunil Pachar on the podcast a few weeks ago, and he was talking about rainwater harvesting.
Yes.
How has that sort of changed over the years? How, as an architect, you play a very vital role.
Yes.
Has that been started incorporating in the projects as well? In the
Definitely, it's a very
things?
essential part of our project, and we are very hell-bent and adamant to have a proper rainwater harvesting system. Because what people don't understand is that this is not going to stay forever. Yes, people are boring. People are, they are taking out water from the earth without any, having thought to what will happen to the next generation. But yes, the day will come when we'll all suffer.
Yeah.
So why not give it back to the Mother Earth rather than spilling it onto a plain sort of tiled floor or a stone floor and let it go into the drain. There is no point doing it.
Great.
And you can see what is happening to our rivers.
So how has the architecture and design industry sort of evolved in the last decade, say?
Well, I would say it has evolved for better with exposure and a lot of travel with everybody. Earlier my clients used to tell me, I have seen this in New York, I have seen it in Spain, or maybe, and we used to be two steps back because we have not seen it. But yes, now that we have also traveled, so yeah, now more or less, you can bring whatever thoughts you feel, and you can amalgamate whatever thoughts internationally you see, and you can bring it to India. And if you are competent enough to have a good detailing, you can do it here. So my thing is that now is the time when design has no boundaries.
Yeah.
And we are very happy because we are doing airports, we are doing museums, we are doing hospitals, and that too in other countries. We have done a cancer hospital in Mauritius.
Okay.
So we have done some nice installation at Bali airport.
Okay.
So doing that, we feel that yes, we have also come out of age, and if somebody abroad accepts our design and somebody abroad accepts our work, yeah, we must be doing some good work.
Yeah.
And maybe some international sort of competencies there with us. So yeah, traveling has helped, internet has helped.
Yeah.
But yes, I would say there is also the other side of it. The client never stops in.
I was about to ask, is because of exposure and internet, things like Instagram,
Yes.
Pinterest, where you
Yes,
see plethora of images,
yes.
does the client come and show it to you and go like, okay, this is what I want and nothing else? How
See,
do you react then?
while you are into commercial project, there is a time limit to it.
Yeah.
So the client is generally a builder or an investor, or who would want to finish a good project in good time.
Yeah.
So he's not into searching every day. But if you do a residential project, then there is no end to it. The wife, the son, the daughter, the father's father, they are all hooked onto their own mobiles, and then there is no end to
New
it.
idea every day.
New idea every day. So therefore, we don't want to get into residences.
Yeah. Okay. Fair. Is there a trend that you've seen globally that you still feel is missing in India?
Trend, I would not say, but yes, I would say still there is less respect to design.
Okay.
In India.
All right.
People feel you can, take thoughts without money and move on. Don't pay the architect.
Is there something which is overhyped in India? One element of design?
Overhyped. Well, I would say maybe many people may not like it, but
or we love controversial opinions.
yeah.
For sure.
So, but I personally feel that every building doesn't need to have a classical look.
Okay.
But around Delhi, if you go throughout the NCR, you will see all sorts of depiction of Roman architecture,
Okay.
which is extremely sad, because the Roman architecture is all about proportions and detailing.
Yeah.
And here, what I see is a very bad, extremely poor representation, or I would say very bad example of what they see abroad, and they then try to copy it here. So I think we as architects also have to improve ourselves, rather not dwelling into such sort of building designs, and educate the client that let's not do it, rather than satisfying the client and trying to earn money. Because if I see 100 buildings, that I think at least 75 of them must be designed by some architect. And let's not spoil the proportions and of design. And so that is something which I don't like at all.
Okay. So India has been growing tremendously in sort of building and infrastructure. There are a lot of commercial spaces that we've seen come up as well in tier 2, tier 3 cities.
Yes.
What do you think the growth will be for India in this sort of industry for the next 10 years? And when do you think it will actually plateau?
The growth in terms of malls, in terms of commercial spaces, I would personally feel that in NCR it is almost plateaued, because you will see a lot of unsold spaces here, and people have invested in the property. They are only waiting for the appreciation. The usage of that space is not there. Also for malls, it is not easy for everybody to, run a mall. People build malls, they sell the spaces to earn money, and that's it. And you don't see life into that mall. But malls which are on lease, like DLF or maybe uh, MR or whatever, whoever holds the mall to itself and gives a space on lease, they are always lively. And now coming to the second part of the question, which says second tier and third tier, I would say yes, people are having good money in second tier and three tier towns also, and they are traveling abroad. They are doing very well for themselves. So yeah, they are also expecting or aspiring for a good environment in those towns. So yes, we have done very good projects in tier two and tier three towns, and we've done up the first mall in Gorakhpur, and it has been the talk of the town by the name of AD Mall. And
Okay.
yeah, the on the YouTube also I happen to see people visiting and giving very good remarks for the mall. So it's a very heartening feeling. And why not? I would say if we are exposed to good things, why not people on tier two and tier three towns?
100%.
So, and moreover, the development is also now focusing towards tier 3 and tier 2, because Delhi NCR or any cosmopolitan city, it is almost reached a saturation level,
Yes, I
and
agree.
we do not have land, we do not have space.
Yeah.
So, and we are adding to the chaos actually by doing so.
Mm.
I think we should stop doing it,
Yeah.
because we are adding to pollution, we are adding to cars on the road, we are adding to sewage, we
Yeah.
are adding to all sorts of problems,
Yeah.
electrical load. So I don't know where this will end, but there has to be some policy where this has to be stopped. And I do not know where the NCR is, it's on a spread throughout.
Yeah.
So I think there has to be some limit to it, where we should stop and say, okay, okay, beyond it, now only flora and fauna will
Yeah.
exist.
So I want to ask you and pick on a few things that you've just said. So you said that obviously there are a lot of spaces that are available, but they're not being filled. Is there a
Yes.
demand supply issue, excessive of supply in terms of commercial spaces, but not enough people to rent it out?
N number of people who believe that I invest in the property today, even if I don't rent it out, that's fine. I will sell it after 5 years. कुछ ना कुछ तो दे के जाएगी.
Yeah.
So if you have that power to hold on to an investment, it pays.
Yeah. Okay.
But if you want to, today you want to buy and tomorrow you want to sell, it will not pay. So that is something which one should understand. But I would say most of these things are under peer pressure.
Yes.
तूने खरीद ली तो मैं भी खरीद लेता हूँ.
Yeah.
चल कैसे भी करके.
Yeah.
So वो जो चल कैसे भी करके is something which
Backfires.
backfires. But most of the places you see, they're empty.
Yeah.
How many offices will you open? How many shops will you open? How many restaurants will you open?
Yeah.
And it is extremely difficult to run also, because you have a lot of expenses. You have common area maintenance charges, which are
Definitely
very high.
the operating expenses.
Yeah, operating high. So you have to generate that sort of money.
So, talking about these empty spaces, what makes a good commercial space differ from the average one, where you see a lot of footfall? You did mention that people who are builders who are just leasing it out does tend to have a very lively sort of area. Is it just the builder? Is it the location? Is it design?
No, it has to be a combination of everything.
Okay.
Location, yes, it is the most important part of the project. Location, and then comes the design of the building.
Yeah.
Because how interactive that design of the building is. Because whoever is visiting that building would be very happy if the building is interactive.
Yeah.
I'm not talking of AI, or I'm not talking of screens, or I'm not talking of technology to be interactive. How that building encapsulates the visitor, how good that person feels visiting that place, while is it welcoming, is it having a good feel, good vibe, a lot of nature to it, nice sitting places, quiet places, where people can spend their time, comfortable spaces. So that is something which leads to a building being successful or unsuccessful. If it is all stone, all tiles, and a lot of AC and a lot of people buzzing around, yeah, that is, you would spend half an hour there and move out.
Yeah.
So, but then the places where you people would love to come and spend time are more successful. So the building has to be designed in such a way that there are quiet zones and then there are busy zones. So these two zones would definitely complement each other, and therefore a building is successful.
Very interesting. Can you name a builder that you really want to work with in the coming future? Maybe they watch this video and they go like, we want Design Accord to design our next space.
Well, we have been lucky enough to work with major of the builders.
That's good.
Yeah, and we are in touch with DLF also.
Okay.
But yes, we have not been able to strike a deal with them.
Okay.
Just because of the fees.
Architect Vipul Singh, thank you very much for joining the show and sharing some valuable insights. We've learned quite a bit from you in the commercial area space. Can you tell us where we can find you? What's the name of your company if anyone's looking for, especially if there's a big builder who wants to avail the services?
So again, I'm Vipul Singh, partner Design Accord Consultants. It is a boutique design firm based in South Delhi on Main Mathura Road, and the website is designaccord.net, and my company's name is Design Accord Consultants.
Fantastic.
So I think people can find me there, and yeah, let's wait for the best. I would want to connect with more builders, more people having commercial spaces, and why not somebody from Goa?
Why not?
Yeah, why not?
Thank you for this great dialogue.
Thank you.